Testing, testing, testing. Kind. All right, Shalom. First and foremost, as always, want to give all the praises, honor, and glory unto the Most High, His only begotten Son. Call Halayim La Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who root and teach well. Wa Barakathon unto the whole full elect. All right, on today through the Spirit, I'm going to a quick live show. Just a little World War III update. And it's mainly like a lot of rumors, but now it's like missiles being shot, but it's still at the beginning stages and root stages. And the reason we know that is because we ultimately know that the Lord ain't gonna allow, the war to fully kick off until the micro CHIP is mandated. You see, and then ultimately we got to be into that point where it's basically gonna be the society shut down, right? And we know that and the war is gonna happen hand in hand. It goes hand in hand. They shalom, yabashjarakata. Yeah, but they go hand in hand. Right? But we still are in the beginning of that war. But we know that the Lord is kind of holding back until that micro CHIP gets mandated. But when you go into the news, at a point in time, it was looked at as like a conspiracy to speak about World War III. You see, but now when you you check it out, you see it's all types of news on it. And there's even missiles being shot by American infantry in Ukraine. And then you have Russia shooting missiles. Iran is shooting at Iran and Israel are still at war. And these are nations that like Ukraine and Israel are backed by the US. Right. So we know that these are just these root stages to this great war. But eventually it's gonna be to the point where all these nations are going to come against America, Babylon the Great, which that's really when the scriptures speak about that great woe, that war of Armageddon, the second death is mainly going to be hidden Babylon the Great. You see, America. Now let's go and look at some of these articles. Look, check this out. When you type in World War III news, look what happens. It says worldpolitical.eu. You see, it says World War III has officially begun. Ukraine's ex-top general says. It says World War III is now Trump's to lose. This is the Hill, right? And when you go into these various news articles, we don't got to go into it because a lot of that stuff just be a bunch of propaganda and BS. But us through the Spirit, we understand the scriptures, and the scriptures never lie, right? Now you go into here. This was an attack that was made not too long ago, a couple days ago. CNN, Ukraine fires U.S.-made longer-range missiles into Russia for the first time. Right, because they're using like basically America's infantry, their weaponry. You see, so they have to have an American to use it. So ultimately, America's already fighting other countries, and then Israel, they're being backed by America, right? So this is all the root stages of World War III, and then you even have it said that Russia ended up shooting firing missiles as well, right? So this is just showing the root stages, these proxy wars happening. And ultimately now America's in. You see? Because this when you go into this right here, this is America's missiles, man. Right? And then it said Russia shot some here, CBS, CNN. Right, Russia fires missiles at Ukraine at Kiev's first use of long-range American. Russia launches one of its fiercest missiles and drones attacks at Ukraine. But they haven't done that. Now, when you understand, what Russia's main weapon, they ain't fired this yet. This is going to be fired when the Lord fully kicks this war off, right? The Satan II missile. See? That Satan II missile is the one that they can shoot and it can hit like a target that's 11,000 miles away from it. So that means they can shoot it from Russia and they can come all the way and hit the middle of America, and then it can blow up a whole state. right? The world's deadliest, right here, Euro News, the world's deadliest nuclear weapon being tested in Russia. That's that talking about that Satan too. This ain't being fired yet. This is one of the most rigorous and harsh weaponry that Russia has. They're not shooting that yet. They're gonna shoot it when World War III fully kicks off. Whenever Yahweh Shai has that micro seal get mandated, that's it. He's gonna allow these nations to really, really start firing their real weapons. You see? Now from here, let's go into some precepts proving, these scriptures. Let's go here. Let me get it back shared. All right. Let's go right here. Then we're going to get a couple of World War III precepts because that's a prophecy according to the scriptures. This is Revelation 11 and verse 14. It says, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. And you can see the prophecy about this World War II. When you go into Revelation, the 9th chapter. And it even goes into World War I as well. You see the technological increase in advancements. It goes into all that in Revelation, the 9th chapter. But ultimately, we're in a time period of this third woe coming. And then during this third woe, that's going to be the second death. You see? That's going to be with the ICBM nuclear warheads being fired all at America, Babylon the Great. You see, all these nations are going to come against America. That's henceforth how you have prophecies like this right here. Because Edom's main nation is America. They're the one that's ruling Babylon the Great. Let's see here. This whole chapter goes in on his destruction, prophecy against Edom. Right? I'm gonna go straight to the point. Because ultimately this chapter goes with Obadiah, the first chapter. But I'm gonna go to the point. The point I want to go is down here. And I'll get in. I want NLT this, as a matter of fact. It's NLT this right here. It's come down here. So this is Jeremiah 49. And I'm going to start at verse 14. It says, I have heard a message from the Jeremiah 49 and 14 NLT. I have heard a message from Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai that an ambassador was sent to the nations to say, form a coalition against Edom and prepare for battle. It says, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai says to Edom, I will cut you down to size among the nations, and you will be despised by all. It's talking about after he be destroyed. It's talking about his destruction. It says, you have been deceived by the fear you inspire in others and by your own pride, because America has control over all these various nations. It has garrisons set up. You see, when you look at Babylon the Great, they're everywhere. Their military and their bases is everywhere. You see, and then ultimately all the money is in America. So America is looked at as if it can go down, but it will. It says, you live in a rock fortress and control the mountain heights. But even if you make your nest among the peaks with eagles, I will bring you crashing down, saith Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You got all these satellites, all this different weaponry, the technology. What does it say, verse 17? It says, Edom will be an object of horror. All who pass by will be appalled and will gasp at the destruction they see there. This talking about when Babylon the Great is destroyed, because that's the current mainland of Edom. Right? Verse 18, it says, it will be like the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah and their neighboring towns. Says Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. No one will live there. No one will inhabit it. That's talking about what's going to happen after these ICBM nuclear warheads all get fired at America, Babylon the Great. You see? It's going to be just like Sodom. It's going to be destroyed as Sodom was. And Salakia, Jay, keep on accidentally exiting it off here. Right? It's going to be the Babylon the Great is going to be destroyed as Sodom and Gomorrah got destroyed by the Lord. You see, it was nothing remaining of it. Because according to prophecy, when you go into, matter of fact, we'll get that too. Revelation 17. When you go into Revelation 17, it speaks of how these nations are going to come against that great horror, which is Babylon the Great. They're going to attack. All right, here we go. Let's start at verse 15. This is Revelation chapter 17 and verse 15. It says, and he said unto me, and this is the angel speaking to John the Revelator, revealing the visions. Because our forefathers, they saw different visions of what we would see now. And they described it the best way they could even using the old English, the old language, and they basically describe the dreams and visions the best way they could. It says, the waters which thou sawest, where the horror sitteth, and this great horror, and that great city is Babylon the Great, being America. It says, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues, right? It says, verse 16, it says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her and burn her flesh with fire, right? And it's 10 horns is talking about the European Union, or the financial, system of NATO and the EU. You see, of this beast, this lawless infrastructure Esau has built up, right? All those nations are going to come against America, Babylon the Great. Even have some of them, they're coming out of NATO right now. But ultimately, all these nations are going to come against America, Babylon the Great. And it says what? Burn her with fire. By way of what? Missiles. You go to verse 17. It says, for the Heavenly Father hath put it in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of the Heavenly Father should be fulfilled. So they're going to be allies with America, until it's about that time when the Lord has everything fully kick off, because we're in the beginning of it right now. You see, but ultimately America is going to be destroyed, and even the nations that are allied with it are going to come against America, Babylon the Great. That's why it's going to be 200 million ICBM nuclear warheads being shot at America. Okay, now let's go here. This is Isaiah 9 and verse 5. It says, for every battle of warrior is with confused noise and with garments rolled in blood, but this shall be a burning and fuel of fire by way of what? The missiles. See, ICBM nuclear missiles. That's how it's going to be with the burning coals of fire, right? That's all that you see on the news is missile talk, because that's that weapon that the Lord is going to use. Esau's sword, he's perfected his sword by way of making all these weapons, but guess what? That's going to be his destruction. All right, let's come here. This is Job. Let's see here. Not Job, Joel. Let me go back to the precept though. Come on, man. Go back to this pre. Here we go. This is Joel chapter 2. If I can get this thing to get off of this, Satan. Come on, man. All right, here we go. Let me get the precept back. Here we go. This is Joel chapter 2. And let's start at verse 4. It says, the appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so shall they run. This is going into the missile. It says, like as a noise of chariots on top of mountains shall they leap, and the noise of a flame of fire that devoured the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. It says, before their face the people shall be much pained, all faces shall gather blackness. Because that second death is going to be a very rigorous way of going out. It says, they shall run like mighty men, and they shall climb the wall like men of war. They shall march everyone in his way, and they shall not break their ranks. They're going to hit every designated target they're supposed to hit, the missiles. It says, neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk everyone in his path. And when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. Let's get that word sword right here. Let's see here. Where is that sword? And when you get sword right here, come on, man. Let's see here. Get sword. Where is it at? Right here. You check out the definition. This Strong's H 7973. It says what? Weapon, missile, weapon. Okay. Check this out. Watch this. Missile. Well, what does it say right here? We were just talking about that. Missiles. You see? So this is why the Lord is going to have that great destruction happen by way of what? The missiles, man. Let's go back here, because when you go into the top of the chapter, what is it speaking about? It's talking about the day of darkness and destruction. You see, the day of the Lord. It's going to be the second death, but it's going to come via through these missiles. Now I want to get this last one right here. Come on, man. This is Isaiah 34, and I'm going to start at verse 5, and it says, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come upon Idumea, the people of my curse, to judgment. That's how you say Esau or Edom in the Greek. And their infrastructure, this is their kingdom. This is their rulership. America is the head nation they use. right? And it says the people of my curse because the Lord cursed them with leprosy, and he also just cursed them to be the wicked, that wicked seed line returning back, the seed of the serpent, the seed of Cain, right? You go back down, you read on down, it says, like as an, oh, come on, man, maybe go to the wrong precept. Here we go. Verse 6. The sword of Yahweh Bashan Shai is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lamb and goats, and with the fat of kidney rams. For Yahweh Bashan Shai hath a sacrifice in Basra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. This is modern day America now. That's where Edom has made his big rule in America. That's the headquarters where all these nations follow this beast, this horde. They follow America. And that's the main place where they had Lord's people in bondage. You know, when it goes to Egypt, it goes to place of bondage, and it also says double straits in the Hebrew definition, double straits. But in the Bible, it calls Egypt a place of bondage. Because here in America, the northern and southern kingdom was in captivity, so they got to get judged for all that. This is verse 7. It says, the unicorn shall come down with them, and with the bullocks of bulls, and their land shall be soaked with blood, and the dust made fat with fatness. Talking about the ICBM nuclear warheads causing what? All that judgment, all that death. You see, a lot of people are going to go by these missiles. You see, it says, verse 8. For it is the day of Yahweh Bashan Shai's vengeance, and the year of the recompense for the controversies of Zion. So Lord's going to bring that vengeance on the Esau Edom for all the evils that is done. Putting the Lord's people in subjection, all the wickedness, the death of the saints. You see, it's a judgment coming. And ultimately, the Lord is going to use Esau's own blessing to destroy him. Right? But that's the point I wanted to go into. World War III is at its root, and we got a couple of precepts to ultimately, show that it's prophecy that World War III is going to happen. It's going to be missiles being shot off, right? But we're in the beginning of it right now. We know it's going to fully kick off when a micro C-HIP gets mandated. But anyways, I brought the Zah. This gave edification and it gave exhortation. And hey, even if some brothers, hadn't seen some articles, you got notified of the stuff that's going on. But anyways, I ended all by saying, call Allah, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakudash. Till next time, come Shalom.